Brandon Marcello is with us. Welcome in, Brandon. How are you today, friend?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much. Brandon with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. My colleagues here to my left, Lance and Jim, just both agreed, and I guess I agree too, so I'm going to ask you. They both agreed that after last night, assuming Texas Tech doesn't drop one of these into the regular season games, that they become this year's SMU, they play their conference championship game with a free pass. They are in as long as they don't drop one of these regular season games at the end. Do you agree?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Well, to explain it better,
How could you explain it better?
They win all their games and they lose the Big 12 championship game. Texas Tech is still in.
I think that's exactly what I said, and Brandon, with very little conviction, agreed. I don't feel conviction here on this, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is like we've been trending really toward a scenario where the ACC and Big 12 are shaping up to maybe only get one spot apiece just from their champions. But I agree with you because of the way Texas Tech's been playing. At some point, that's just where they're ranked right now puts them in that scenario. They win out, they lose that Big 12 championship game, they would still be in. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to win out and win the Big 12 championship game. But yeah, I think so too. I mean, the committee's put them up so high in the rankings, they'll be okay.
So we know, like, to the Big Ten, we know Ohio State and Indiana are pretty much locked. Oregon with the win at Iowa, they probably can drop either USC or Washington. They're still locked. If I put the number at 3.5 over under Big Ten teams in, do you think they can get that fourth team in, whether it be USC or Michigan?
No, I'd go under. Yeah, most definitely. I think USC is going to drop one more. And I've been thinking it since the preseason, and I think that in a lot of ways it's been the general thought that's kind of permeated through the committee's minds, and for that matter, fans, is that the Big Ten is a three-bid league this year. And they'll probably be upset near the end of the year, much like some of the SEC fans last season when they were trying to get a three-loss team in. But, that kind of leads to my next point. I don't know if you guys are going there, but we're getting closer and closer to a scenario where the SEC is going to get a team in with 3 losses this year.
Yeah. Lance actually projected that back in August. In the best,
okay, cool, yeah.
In the best case,
with Texas.
Yeah, and he actually said it would be Texas. Is that the best case scenario for the SEC? The 3
Yes.
loss, yeah.
Yeah, 3-loss Texas gets in. I think a 3-loss Texas gets in. They beat one of these top 5 teams remaining on their schedule. One of the 2 they've got, obviously, including this weekend. They get in.
Yeah, and helped out by the fact they played Ohio State about as good as anybody had in the opener. So there's no shame in that. You don't know this about me, but you spent time with me. You know my brain is not the best one in the world. I do a lot of things when I'm watching TV. Did Heather Dinich really talk last night about the committee sort of looking at the Georgia Tech Wake Forest bad call as the committee members are sort of holding that against Georgia Tech? Did I hear that correctly last night? Have you heard anything like that coming out of the room, that Georgia Tech, that Wake Forest Georgia Tech call is somehow a bad mark on Georgia Tech's resume?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't watch that network.
Oh, you got YouTube TV. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that too. I only watch live games. I don't watch the shows on there. No, I mean, no offense. I'm friends with the people that I just don't watch it.
I understand.
I don't have time for it, and my job is to do what they're doing, pretty much. And I haven't talked to anybody in that room or anything like that. Because here's the thing. Like, reporting on what's happening in that room doesn't matter. It doesn't until the final week of the season, because what they say one day is going to change potentially the next day. You've got reasoning for everything, and I know how that is. I'm not criticizing them because I do rankings every week, like a lot of people, and then I just make up excuses for my rankings. Why did I put this team above that one? Well, I'll tell you why. I mean, everything's nothing matters to that final week. I mean, it's just a show. It's entertainment all the way up until that selection Sunday.
And let me apologize, as I'm very unprofessional of me to ask you that question. So I apologize about another network.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just I don't watch it. In fact, couldn't have watched it last night anyway. I was at my son's basketball game, so
Your son is old enough for basketball already?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's 7.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. Is he playing post or guard?
He's post. He's the tallest kid on the floor.
I'll dump it down to him. Make a living. Brandon Marcello with us. Happy Marcello on social media.
Hey, the guy down the road, Nate Oates, says he needs to learn how to still shoot the 3 ball, though, even though he's playing post. Get him out there on the arc.
My son's a pretty good shooter, too.
Okay,
he gets down the post a little bit, plays a lot of good defense, because, as you know, those kids that age, they're just all under the basket throwing it up pretty much. And so he's just up there going, you're not shooting a bucket.
Brandon with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. As Oklahoma comes to Tuscaloosa, it is a do-or-die game for them. This was a game that left a very sour taste in Alabama's mouth last year, so it's a fascinating matchup in those terms. The most fascinating part of this could be the health of John Mateer. This offense has not been the same since his injury. Do you know where he is on that injury scale? I think I've even asked you this already. Is this also defensive coordinators catching up with Ben Arbuckle a little bit?
I do think it's a little bit of that, mostly, because at this point, John Mateer's hand situation is what it is. You can kind of coach around it a little bit. The problem for them is just trying to get the run game going to kind of spread things out, to kind of take that pressure off of them. Yeah, I mean, and I would also say that I also think that maybe earlier in the season, because of the competition, other than maybe Michigan, that the offense was never really explosive to begin with, if you know what I mean. And I think it's just kind of is what it is at this point. I think they're going to be a lot better actually next season offensively, if Arbuckle returns there, is not going elsewhere. But yeah, I mean this is like, I like OU this year, I really do, and I think they're a borderline playoff team, like we see it in the rankings right now. But this is just a terrible matchup for them in Tuscaloosa on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Tide end up beating them by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh,
Hey,
blowout alert from Brandon.
Not that this is important, but if Vanderbilt wins out and gets in at 10-2, and Elko has an undefeated Texas A&M team, who would you give a vote for SEC Coach of the Year, or maybe at that point National Coach of the Year? Do you go Elko, or do you go Clark Lee, who gets Vanderbilt into a freaking college football playoff?
This might be a little controversial, but I go Elko. And I'm trying not to take anything away from Clark Lee, but that's a Diego Pavia-led team. They're winning because of Diego. And yes, you brought him in and all that. I understand that. But as far as coaching and dealing with situations and being able to do something in less than 2 years at Texas A&M, which has been a perennial loser in the month of November, I'd go Elko. They've won big games on the road. They beat Notre Dame on the road in one of the most thrilling games of all season. He's put that team together. Yes, he had a solid base there, obviously, from that record-breaking recruiting class that Jimbo Fisher got in. But some of those guys left, and then Elko had to build around that. Then he also had to get that team to believe in itself. I think Marcel Reed is a much improved quarterback from what he was a year ago, and that's because of the coaching and everybody that Elko surrounded himself with. And this past week I was at the Mizzou game, Mizzou A&M, covering that, and I'm telling you, man, the way they play, this team can win a national championship. Their one issue is that they allow, for whatever reason, like every game, they allow like 2 or 3 just strange explosive plays, especially on the ground. And they did that again at Mizzou, but the game was always kind of a 2-touchdown lead, so it didn't hurt them. And then the defense would step up. But that's something to watch here down the stretch, like especially against Texas, because my goodness, that's going to be an incredible game near the end of the season. If things go along the way I think it is this weekend with Texas, losing at Georgia, it's all going to come down to the incredible rivalry game in the final week of the season.
Hey, sticking with A&M real quick, though, I mean, this incredible coaching cycle that we're in the middle of right now and will continue, and all the dominoes and everything, why is 36-year-old Colin Klein, a guy that we've been talking about a lot the last couple of weeks, not getting any love, and he's not on the short list?
Oh, he's getting some love. Is that not been out there?
I mean, when the jobs are talked about, we haven't seen it a lot.
Oh, well, yeah, he's not at the top, but people have been doing their research on him and talking about him. I know the school in my backyard, my alma mater, Arkansas, has. I mean, I don't know how far down the list he is, but I've heard his name pop up there.
But he should be on these lists.
Yes, yeah. I agree. And Colin is going to. I would think he's going to interview for some jobs this year. Once again, though, and as you guys know, this carousel cycle is going to be crazy. We have these jobs open now, and it's been quiet for like 2 weeks since Freeze got fired at Auburn. But now everything's going to filter down to the group of 5. You're going to start seeing some of those schools making some more decisions here down the stretch as they figure out, well, this is what we are these last 2 weeks of the season. I could see Colin getting some calls, especially for those type of jobs. But to your point, there are some power programs where he's on the like long list. I wouldn't say short list. He's on the long list, and there's been some feelers put out to them just to kind of get more research and talk to his people a little bit more.
Since you were at Missouri, if I asked you, Eli Drinkwitz's coaching next year at Missouri or somewhere else, because he seems to be, I imagine he's happy there, but he seems to be at a peak point in his career where other people are looking at him.
Yeah, I think that's a more difficult situation than people want to give credit to, because you go up there, they've put so much money into that program. I mean, they're redoing the stadium right now, and it's going to look great with some of the new premium seating in one of the end zones. They've obviously put a lot into NIL there. I mean, Missouri, the state of Missouri has been one of the more aggressive ones when it comes to NIL laws. They were the first or maybe second state in this country that started allowing high school players to get NIL deals if they were going to go to an in-state school, which really helped them out because there's a couple of guys in the Kansas City area and et cetera, in St. Louis, that they can kind of get a good crack on there. But I would say that, like, you know, the one big hit on Eli is that he can't win a top 25 game. And the school that I hear his name come up with the most is not Florida right now. It's Penn State.
They just fired that. Yeah.
And they just fired that guy, right? Exactly. That's my point. So it kind of like makes me a little like, why is that a thing? But if I was Eli, if I got legit heat from Penn State, Florida, or Auburn, if I was him, I'd leave. Do I think he would do that? I think it's a more difficult decision for him because of the big time investment they've put into the program there. And he's still, I think, building there a little bit. Let's also remember, I mean, they were playing most of the season with their second team quarterback, and now they're on their third team quarterback because of injuries. So that gives you some cachet as well. I think Eli, even if he becomes like the top candidate at those 3 schools I mentioned, one of those 3 schools, I think that still will be a difficult decision for him to make.
Man, so fascinating. It's just, I was talking about this yesterday, Brandon, before you go, with somebody, like the discussion was specific to Lane Kiffin. And I mentioned, like, you'll hear a lot of people say, well, you can't win a national championship at Ole Miss. And I'm like, dude, that is old thinking. You cannot think that way anymore. It's just, that is.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yes, nobody has been able to do that.
It used to be Ole Miss can't win an SEC championship.
Yeah.
We would all agree that they can this year,
I
right?
think so, yeah. I mean, and that was true thinking for 40 years. I don't begrudge you thinking that for 40 years, but we're in a new world now. There's so many of these jobs where we used to say you can't win a national championship. You cannot say that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, 3 years ago, I'd say Indiana can't win 9 games.
Exactly.
That's right.
Texas Tech can't go to the playoffs. Yeah.
It depends on the situation, the commitment. I think that's a lot of the things that, like, fans can't just look at a name anymore and go, well, they win and that's what it is. You have to look at, like, the behind the scenes and, like, do your research, the investment in the school, what they're actually funding. The things that they're literally looking at, what they prioritize. And I will say there are going to be a lot of fan bases that are going to be just disappointed with their hires this year. I don't think that the top 3 or maybe 4 jobs will be disappointments for the fan bases, so to speak. I think Auburn will get their guy. I think Florida will get one of their two guys potentially, and LSU, despite oh my God, that stuff's crazy down there, guys.
Oh yeah.
And then at Penn State, that's an interesting situation at Penn State. But those are the only jobs I could sit here and think maybe confidently at this point where I go, the fans will probably be okay with their hire. Outside all that, good luck to everybody.
Yeah.
Because you're just not going to get some like prime candidate that's one of the top 6 or 7 or even 8, candidates out there. Because a lot of those guys below those top 3 or 4 coaches out there that might leave, they're probably going to stay at their current jobs.
And
That's
everybody,
just how it is. And it leads into your point of you can win somewhere as long as there's commitment to your program.
Yeah. And everybody's going to want to know, do you believe Auburn's guy is John Summerall? I think you've said that before, have you?
It just makes sense. I mean, if John Cohen's not listening to me, he's not picking up my phone calls, but I know he's the search committee, and just don't outthink it, John. Don't outthink yourself. Don't think about social media. Don't think about the reaction. Go hire John Summerall. And I'll tell you right now, you go hire John Summerall, Auburn's winning 10 games here within the next 2 years. Just put me down saying that right now.
Okay, with that said, of the open jobs, do you feel most confident? If I was like gun to head, you've got to give me one guy where he's going for sure. Would that be your answer, or would you go another direction?
Of all the jobs that are open,
I'm saying, do you feel better about where Florida goes or where LSU goes?
That's the one I would say that I'd feel best about.
Okay, well, I think Auburn fans love hearing that.
Yeah, that's a great hire for them.
I would think so, right? I even wrote a column about it a week or so ago. Like, it just makes too much damn sense. But again, he's up for other jobs. Other schools are interested in him, including Arkansas. But it just makes a lot of sense for all the reasons that's probably been said on your show before. His wife went to Auburn. He's an Alabama guy. He knows every single freaking high school coach in that state. They respect him. And God forgive me, I can't remember the coach's name, but there's a coach in the state there. I can't remember his name. Big Alabama guy, right? Will never go to Auburn to do 7-on-7 camps or anything, like ever. You hire John Summerall at Auburn, that guy's going to go to Auburn 7-on-7 camps. That's just how tight John Summerall is with a lot of these guys and all the relationships he's brought. So it's just a no-brainer to me. Like, don't hire a search firm. Don't get a committee together. Don't spend money on that. Go hire John Summerall. Get it done.
Yeah, a lot of amens in the chat room for that one. All right, Brandon does great work, CBSSports.com. Last time he was on with us, he teased us in his Bob Petrino in-depth article that there was a piece of memorabilia I never would have guessed. It was the former women's basketball coach that owned the neck brace. Like, how random is that? The former women's basketball coach of all things. I mean, it's so bizarre. So go read his work. That's the type of stuff you get from Brandon at B. Marcello on social media.
If I remember right, did he have it like in a Dropbox, or he had it in a case, right?
On display.
It's on display at his house.
Like like one of those old entertainment centers.
Yeah.
He just had it in at the bottom left corner of it.
Yeah.
And that was it. And what was funny about it is he wasn't even the Arkansas women's basketball coach when he got it. He was the head coach at Washington.
Yeah.
He's just a big Arkansas guy. He always has been. He's from Greenwood, Arkansas. So he's collected he's got all kinds of stuff in his house. And he took me in. He's got his own little speakeasy in his house.
A speakeasy?
I mean, I don't want to put it out there because someone might go try and rob him, but like hundreds of thousands of dollars of bourbon.
There it is.
Well, there it is.
What's the password?
Yes, great security. Great security.
And that's at his old house in the state of Washington. Yeah. They'll never see it coming. Brandon, man, thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Good to see you, buddy.
All right, see you guys.
All right, thank you. Brandon Marcello with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.